Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go, this is Valley News Live at noon.
We begin with breaking news. North Dakota health experts are reporting close to 300 new positive cases in Cass County alone. Now, there are 1,222 new cases in the state, with 11 deaths, making the total number 499. Now, in Cass County alone, there are reporting 278 cases. The positivity rate has also jumped to 15.62%. The full numbers can be found on our VNL News app and on the bottom of your screen. Now, a 28-year-old man is now in jail following a high-speed police chase through 4 North Dakota counties. A state trooper tried stopping a driver going 95 miles per hour in a 65 zone yesterday afternoon near Wing and Burleigh County, but the driver sped away. The trooper chased him through Sheridan and McHenry counties at speeds of 110 miles per hour. The driver's front tires went flat after he hit spike sticks near Rugby. Now, Waylon Zaist of Belcourt was taken to jail for reckless driving under suspension, and fleeing. He also has had active warrants. Police chased Zaist for about 115 miles from Wing to Rugby. It was a little chilly this morning, and now we're being told that snow can make an arrival today as well. Let's check in with forecaster Summer Snowball.
It was a bit chillier this morning than what we started out with yesterday. Fargo fell to 18 degrees, but personally I was really busy watching the beautiful sunrise that we had. We had just a sliver of sky to work with for the sunrise this morning, but wow, did it deliver. Take a look at this time lapse from this morning in Fargo. The clouds turned a vivid orange and pink color right before the sun came up. And it was only for a couple of minutes before the sun really came up and dipped right behind that cloud deck again. Sharon over in Moorhead, Minnesota was able to capture this beautiful picture as those clouds turned that purple, pink, and orange hue. What a gorgeous shot. Right now, temperatures have warmed up into the 20s. Fergus Falls and Devil's Lake, some of the warmer spots at 30 degrees. For the rest of our afternoon, you can see it's fairly cloudy out there, and I expect a fairly cloudy sky to continue the rest of the day. But you see by later on tonight some of those snowflakes. We do have a chance for some snow later on. Right now it's in central North Dakota, but I'll be timing out when we could see it in our neck of the woods and how much we might be expecting coming up in just a few minutes.
We'll have to definitely make sure to stay tuned so we can see how much possible snow we can see today.
Yes.
Thanks again, Summer. Well, one woman is dead after she was hit by a train in south central Minnesota. Deputies were called to the town of Kandiyohi yesterday afternoon in Kandiyohi County. They say the victim was walking on train tracks when she was hit by an eastbound BNSF train. The woman's name is not being released at this time. Minnesota State University Moorhead students will soon be spending more time at home and online. The university is switching to fully online after Thanksgiving break. Students will be taking all but a select few of their classes online following fall break. This comes just days after school students' senate passed a resolution asking the administration to move all courses that don't require equipment or learning environments online. This will go into effect after students return from break on November 27th. The campus will remain open with residence halls and dining services available. Student support services will also remain in person whenever possible. Refunds will not be issued for housing, parking, or meal plans for on-campus students. And one student saying he feels pretty safe about staying on campus.
We have a safe campus. Our students, I can't speak for all students, but I feel relatively safe in the classroom, and I know lots of other students feel safe.
Now, Student Senate hasn't ruled out pushing campus online in the future. This ruling will depend on COVID-19 numbers. Well, staying on the same topic as local schools being impacted by COVID-19, a bump in coronavirus cases is impacting Central Valley Public Schools students and staff. Now, this school district will take a break from in-person learning for about 2 weeks. Distance learning will take place tomorrow until November 6th. In-person learning is set to begin back on Monday, November 9th. Well, President Trump is expected to send 220,000 state-of-the-art by next week COVID-19 point-of-care antigens, and these tests are going to be sent to the state of North Dakota. Now, these tests can be diagnosed coronavirus infection in as little as 15 minutes and will be distributed at the discretion of Governor Doug Burgum to support testing K-12 students, teachers, nursing home patients, and staff. Now, higher education, critical infrastructure, first responders, and other priorities as he seems fit. Now, with the coronavirus pandemic making in-person voting risky for some Americans, many cities are turning non-traditional locations into polling places to make sure voters can safely cast their ballots. Now, Chris Martinez explains.
As a record number of voters head to the polls, where some of them are casting ballots this year looks a bit unusual.
I voted at Fenway Park.
With the coronavirus pandemic making social distancing a must, sporting venues have been transformed into polling locations across the country, from the KFC Yum Center in Louisville, Kentucky, to Philly's Union Stadium and Atlanta's State Farm Arena, to name just a few.
They're easily recognizable landmarks.
Michael Tyler is with More Than a Vote, a voter advocacy group formed this summer by LeBron James and other NBA stars. Together, they helped transform NBA arenas into voting locations.
They're not crowded into a small high school gym or a small, library hallway. They're able to safely congregate and exercise their right to vote.
Arenas and stadiums aren't the only places being repurposed for voters. Concert venues, like the Hollywood Bowl here in Los Angeles, are also being transformed into polling locations. And the list goes on.
This year, voters in Los Angeles can also cast ballots at the city's famed La Brea Tar Pits. In Texas, this drive-through location allows people to vote without ever leaving their car. And in San Francisco, the historic Neptune Society Columbarium, home to 8,500 cremated human remains, is now a polling site. Tyler says the alternative locations, no matter how unusual, are all about making sure voters feel comfortable casting an in-person vote.
Frankly, our hope is that we can actually make these arenas and these performance venues a permanent part of the voting infrastructure moving forward.
He hopes they help ensure a strong and safe turnout. Chris Martinez, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Besides sporting arenas, concert venues, and tar pits, people across the country are also voting at restaurants, laundromats, hotels, personal citizens' garages, and other non-traditional locations. Well, coming up at noon, we take a look at how Thanksgiving may be altogether different this year and what you can do to plan ahead. Now, snow could be in the forecast today. Let's check in that weather report with forecaster Summer Snowbuck.